A programming note. The week of the 12th, this week may be a little light in model building. I do have some prior commitments, and this is basically almost like an inventory week for myself, because we're basically getting down to the year end of what I do, and basically Christmas Day is the last day of the year for me in my little BHP world, and the toys and the models and all that stuff. So this week will be a little light, and maybe Christmas week. It shouldn't affect any model building, but there's always that chance that it could. Updates could be light. I mean, I'll still do videos, and I'll show you. We'll try to do some fun stuff on these 2 weeks, because it might be just a little light. I may not get a whole lot done, but I wanted to tell everyone that, and it may not affect at all, or it may put a little week or two behind schedule. But anyway, I'll let everyone. I'll remind everyone once we get closer to that week, which is about a week away. The MBT. I wanted to show everyone this. This is a one picture showing the dual wheel landing gear, showing the torpedo. And I'll explain the little radiator thing. If you read the instructions on the kit, it had it actually going in the back, but if you see the picture here, it goes almost vertical. And the front of the nose of the ship is basically solid. And if you look at the MB kit itself, it's actually got a clear piece on there. I guess the MB2s had I want to say a viewport. Is the only thing I can guess. I never really ventured into it, what the glass part of it was. But anyway, there's that. Let me get down here. I did find some decent pictures of the MB1, not the torpedo one, but the MB, which is pretty much the same thing as the MBT. It's just a tad bit different. This is an MB1. You notice it's got the basically two little, I guess, slots, added things on top of the wing, and the engines are a tad bit different, but it's got the solid nose. And it's just crazy, probably no seat belts at all, just pilots, flying along. But, got the dual wheel. But the MB1, and if you notice the dual wheel here, it don't have, I want to say a little guard above the wheel. Unlike, where'd it go? There it is. Like right there, which has the guard itself. It's little changes, nothing major, unless you're just absolutely. But anyway, where else did I see it? Again, you can see the dual wheel. The engines. Well, let's just click on that one. Why not? They basically go up vertical, and I'll go show you the kit in just a minute, but. The radiator grill goes in the front, and I didn't change much on the MBT. The MB2, it's very, I mean, you'd have to be, to notice the difference. I mean, it's close enough. You'd have to really scratch build the entire engine, but for this conversion, it's very, very simple. I mean, just leaving the kit the way it is, and we'll just say that is what it is. But anyway, this was at militaryfactor.com, and if I actually if I was going to build one, just say personally here, I would build this MB1 with the 3 engines. I think that's just pretty slick. That is just odd too. I mean, you don't see a plane like that, from the World War I era, or close to that. But anyway, I think that's just odd. Notice the landing gears are wider than the MBT. But anyway, I wanted to show everyone that. That's at militaryfactory.com. So check that out. The MBT. What I've done so far, lights suck over here. You can see I did get the radiators on. If you look at the instructions, where is it? it actually shows the radiator, which is kit number 47, which is that. It actually shows it back here. Don't show it in the front. And it don't look right in the back. Of course, I didn't look at the MBs. I've only been looking at MB1s, and the MBTs had the radiator grill in the front. So I just glued them in the front. I had to saw off the tabs and everything, but I got them glued on, got the props on. I started to fill in the front here, which I was using epoxy sculpt. Of course, me, I pinched out more than I thought I was going to need, and I got to do one more round because it was actually sinking in. And there was really no way I could back it. No room to stick a piece of styrene in there and just to back it. So I put in one deal of epoxy sculpt, and got to do one more, get that smooth, and then I can sand it off. And I'm pretty much done with that. Added a few little things that go on top of the wings. I may add the little thing that goes on top of the wing here. It was on the MB1, but I don't know if it's on the MBTs. That's just something I can't see. I may add it, may not. I haven't really decided on that yet. I did go back in and added some styrene strip, which I got to basically glue and get them to sit on the wing, but I did extended them just a tad, and once they're painted, they'll hardly be noticeable. But anyway, I did get that, and hopefully we're not too crooked on the wheels. If not, we're just going to say we are, because it was a combat-ready plane. But anyway, there is that. So hopefully we'll get a little more done on the MBT. Hopefully, I'm basically down to adding the little gun mounts and the guns on there. Basically seen the picture of the MB1. They had it in the front, but not really one in the back. But anyway, I'll probably put both back just to fill up space, and then put a couple figures in there, and we'll be ready to primer and hopefully figure out what we are going to paint it. The Impala, try not to spill nothing here. I got it primered, and then I went in and I basically painted it flat black, and then I'll go in and I'll spray some Future on it, get it all shiny and everything. I got a couple spots that I really should have let it dry in primer, but I wasn't in a hurry. I was just trying to. I had an opportunity. It wasn't raining, windy, cold, or that nature, and I just basically trying to do everything all at once. I got a little run right here, which I got to sand off on the door, if you can see that. And once I fix that, I just need to repaint it a little bit black, a few spots, and then I'm ready to put Future on it and put the side mirrors on. Side mirrors, and I didn't read the instructions, so if you can see, they got holes on the bottom, and they come with somewhere in here, they come with pins. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole, put the side mirrors into the hole, and then we'll put a pin on the inside, and that'll hold them into place. So that's the game plan on that. Seems simple enough. Hopefully it is. And anyway, we'll try to get that. But anyway, I'm going to do some body work. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. It should be good and dry, so I can go back in and sand a few stuff. That's the only thing I hate about rattle cans. You get the occasional run, which I guess I, always held it too close, which I shouldn't have. Should have known better, but I did it anyway. But anyway, there is that. The Grand Torino, I did get it in primer, and it's basically ready to paint, which we will probably be painting it with. I'll probably be doing the I want to say moss green, but it's not. What's it called? Sherwood green, but it's not going to be the aerosol can. It's actually going to be the scale 75 color, which I think is the correct color for the Grand Torino. So that's what I'm going to plan on that. But anyway, that's ready to for the base coat, hopefully in a couple of days. Just hoping. Death Star, I got most of it painted with the light gray, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back in, and it's very, very subtle. I don't know if you can actually see it. It's very, very subtle in different tones of the panels, and I got one more pass on it after this video, and then I'm going to take all the tape off, and then we'll have to do some hand brushing, because it's just going to be easier to just paint it by hand, especially around the dish area, and then we'll see how it looks from there. I hate to, it's not really a whole lot of a update I can do on the, you know, once you see the tape off, you'll see the different contrast between the light gray and the dark gray, and it should work out okay. And it's a unique model to paint. But anyway, hopefully give it a little more life once you get the tape off, and should give it a little more character. The Crazy Horse, I broke my 2 decal rule today, and I basically, for the last 4 hours, I was doing 2 or 3 decals an hour, and I just kind of went ahead and got most of the bottom on, all on the saucer. There's a couple spots that's going to be a little crooked, which once I got it down, it was hard to get it back, and I didn't want to tear it. And I really should have, honestly, again, I always say it, I should have sprayed the decals with decal fixative, you know, 2 or 3 coats, because it wanted to come up just a little bit, especially on a few spots, which that's, you know, it's expected. A little bit of airbrush, a little weathering will take care of that. No big deal. There is one decal, it should be smaller than the others, but I went ahead and overlapped it. It makes it darker squares, which I think it looks cool. It just gives a little more paneling done on it. And what I'm going to do is, once this dries and more solution added to it, because I got to go back in with Mr. Knife here, and I got to cut around the phaser banks and get the air bubbles out, which I got almost all of them out, but I need to run the phaser banks, a little more solution, and let it do its magic, and then I'll go back in and do some do a little bit of shadowing, just hide some of the defective parts on the decal, and we'll be good to go. But still got to add more decals. Started adding the decal here, back. That was all one piece, which that was a fun one to do. But it still wanted to not crack, but the color wanted to come off just a little bit. So anyway, I got to go back in again with Mr. Knife and do a little trim, get the little air bubbles on the recessed areas, and we'll be good to go on that. But anyway, just keep adding decals and decals until you know, eventually we will get done. As you can tell by the decal paper pile, which gets probably about that high after we are done with the Crazy Horse. But anyway, it is taking shape, and still it looks cool. And we're even close to adding the JT graphics, because we got to add the important name, you know, the Crazy Horse, the registry number, and all that stuff. But anyway, that is what I've got going on today. I should have a shut update for the ARC itself, so I'll probably do that too, and probably do a model review as well, and we will continue on today. But anyway, that's what I've got going on today. We're doing some research on the MBTs, adding decals, more decals to the Crazy Horse, painting, getting ready to be done on the Death Star, just down to the little bit of hand painting, MBT getting constructed, Gran Torino in primer, and we got the Impala in black. So that's what I got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.